Hey everyone! Thanks for wanting to check out my adventures as I survive in the Naruto world for 100 Minecraft days. This video series took such a long time to make, especially with all the roleplay-like elements, so if you like what you see, please think about subscribing to the channel and liking the video. It would be greatly appreciated. This is the third and last part of the epic tale, which will cover days 69 through 100. After this video, I'll upload all three parts together as one big 100 days video, so look out for that. Alright, let's go ahead and dive right in now. Day 69, I woke back up to find myself once again jailed up. However, now I was in the presence of my once friend, Debebuto, and a group of other mysterious people behind him. Debebuto looked different, but the only thing that I could think about asking was if Waddle was okay. Debebuto said that he still considered me a close friend, so he just wants me to stay put for the time being. I didn't know what he was talking about, but all he said was that if I somehow leave this cell before he conquers the village, we are enemies. I tried to ask what he was talking about, but all he said was that he was finally accomplishing his dream. He's gonna be the Hokage. He and his group then left. Day 70. At this point, my mind was completely broken. I tried to escape, but by the time night came around, my cell wasn't budging. It must have been because my mental state is directly connected to how strong my output is. My hero was dead, my friend was missing, and my other friend had turned on the village and started a whole war. My brain was clearly fried. Luckily, the cell was blown open from the outside by an attack during this invasion on the Leaf. I was ready to participate in a war that would surely last multiple days and nights. Just as the moon was setting and the sun was rising on the morning of day 71, I came across a sight that I couldn't believe. My friends Naruto and Sasuke were lying motionless as their old squad member Sakura Haruno loomed over them. We immediately began to fight as I recalled that she was one of the people with Debebuto. During our fight, Sakura explained to me that Naruto and Sasuke had left her in the dust, so she needed to find a way to catch up to them as quickly as she could to stay relevant. During this low point in her life, Debebuto showed up and showed her the light. Using his abilities, he increased her powers in order to fight these demigods and prove that she's not useless. I didn't really care about what she was saying though, so I asked her about the Debebuto's plan in general, but she only replied by asking me if I think Sasuke will think she's hot now. Getting nowhere with her, I defeated her, and I continued moving onward. But not before letting Naruto and Sasuke know that everything would be okay. Sure, they couldn't hear me because they were out cold, but I felt like I at least should let them know that their spirit carries on inside of me. I would definitely handle the rest. On day 72, the next major fight was brought to my attention. I discovered Tenten, another one of Debebuto's allies, and our fight was on. She wouldn't stop talking about how Neji is the strongest ever, so she made herself a demigod through Debebuto's help to eliminate everyone so Neji would be the only undisputable best. I asked how Debebuto was able to do this, and she said that he had been doing experiments to steal people's powers and use them to amplify the abilities of others. The dream I previously had of Rock Lee was Debebuto testing the abilities he had stolen from him to see if he could enhance a very small part of one's chakra to be as strong as a full person's. He used me as a guinea pig because he knew what I was. When Orochimaru's research was available after his defeat, Debebuto slowly perfected his experiments. I took Tenten down after this explanation, and I was completely dumbfounded about what I had learned. My opponent on day 73 was someone named Mickey Mouse. I didn't recognize this rat man with this strange keyblade at all, but I questioned him and he was eager to explain that he was just here looking for someone named Aqua. He had been traveling from Disney World to Disney World, and since Naruto used to air on Disney XD at one point in time, he had access to this world as well. I asked him why he had teamed up with Debebuto, and Mickey explained that he joined as a member of the squad because his mind snapped during the journey here, due to this place not actually being a Disney World. So he'd just rapidly gone insane. He wanted me to put him out of his misery, so I did just that. On day 74, I fought against a man named Indra. Indra explained to me that he was the son of the Sage of Six Paths, a person from the ancient past, but was given a second chance by Debebuto, and now wants to assist him in making all of his ambitions come true. He said that Debebuto's ultimate goal is to become the Hokage, which would then give him the ability to control the village and change it for the better. When I asked what he wanted to change, Indra said that Mickey Mouse's presence here made Debebuto realize that this world could potentially be infinitely more successful if it were under a mega behemoth of a corporation like Disney. Maybe we'd even get a Disney movie made about the village. and since the door had been unknowingly opened once Mickey got through, he'd just get the efforts of everyone to open it again and step through to sign the paperwork. From there, the Naruto-versus power system wouldn't be built around chakra anymore. It'd be built around Disney money. My heart sank when I heard this. I loved the village and the world as it was. I took out Indra, knowing that I truly had to stop this before it was too late. Day 75, I met Ashura, Indra's little brother. He explained that unlike the other members of the squad, he was being possessed by Debeiruto. Even though he was forced to fight me as a result, he was able to give me some valuable information. He said that Debeiruto had been eyeing Waddle's Kekkei Genkai for quite some time and wanted it for his own. I didn't know what he was talking about at first, but Ashura went on to highlight that Waddle's bloodline limit hails from his lineage, the Vania clan. Said to be the rarest clan still living, the few members still around have spread across the lands. A prime characteristic found in this land was that they are very anti-authority by nature, usually choosing nomadic and free-spirited lifestyles instead. Waddle and his family were hunted as a priority by many different factions as a result of their lineage, so they settled in a Leaf Village for safety. This ended up with his mother and father passing away while on a mission though, leaving Waddle on his own. The Vania clan's signature ability is called Advocation, which allows their power to increase exponentially when they're fighting for someone else. This explained why Waddle was getting so powerful alongside me. Originally, he was only fighting to bring back his parents, and definitely didn't see Orochimaru as some sort of superior, but after we defeated him, Waddle began to warm up to being a ninja, and began fighting for the village. After learning about Waddle's Kekkei Genkai, the battle between me and Ashura came to a close. By day 76, the village hidden in the leaves truly did look like a battlefield. There was hardly anything left at this point, but there were hardly any members of the squad left either. Still resolved to put an end to this, I confronted Indra and Ashura's grandmother, the mother of the Sage of Six Paths, Kaguya, the rabbit goddess. She was by far the strongest member of the squad that I had faced up until that point, and there were multiple times I felt like this was the end of the line for me. Through sheer willpower, I trudged onward though. She was spouting stuff about building an army for an upcoming threat, but that sounded like something for the sequel series involving my son, so I didn't really care about what she had to say. When I tried to ask her questions that actually mattered to me though, she seemed to carry the same energy and didn't pay any mind to my words. It was honestly starting to get me aggravated, and I only got more and more terrified about Waddle's safety as the days went by, but I didn't let it cloud my mind. Instead, it acted as fuel to an ever-burning flame inside of me. In the end, the so-called goddess fell to my resolve. Day 77 was a bit of a rest day for me. Sure, I had to fight another member of the squad, but he was definitely the weakest of the bunch, so I was finally able to catch my breath. The Ichiraku ramen guy revealed that after the secret ingredient for his ramen, his own piss, was outed to the public, he lost all of his business and was recruited by Debeiruto. He called the village ungrateful because the hot meals he used to serve had always filled their bellies on their harshest days, and no one ever complained. He explained that he joined the Akatsuki because he needed the extra money, but once that didn't work and his business halted, the Disney plan seemed like the logical move to support. Seeing as he knew Waddle better than most of the people in Debeiruto's group, it only made sense that he was the one to shine a light on what had happened to Waddle. He told me that Debeiruto had made a plan to push Waddle to a point where he'd gradually awaken his Vania abilities. After Pain's defeat, Debeiruto completely possessed Waddle's body, and while Waddle was still able to perceive the outside world, Debeiruto was in control. At the funeral, Waddle's Kekkei Genkai finally bloomed as a result of seeing his beloved superior dead. But Debeiruto was already in control by that point, so the only thing that needed to be done from there was to begin the invasion using his massive amount of power. I questioned how Debeiruto would have power from Waddle's ability if he isn't under anyone. He seemed like the leader if anything. The ramen guy explained that as the Hokage, Debeiruto feels like he is working for the entire village, meaning he is under them in a sense. This duty to make it a better place is what has elevated him to a tier above anyone else. The ramen guy then ended up getting boiled alive during our fight, and I only had one threat left to eliminate. On day 78, the fateful fight had arrived. I approached Debeiruto and demanded that he stop this at once, but he didn't want to listen. He explained that he had been planning this for far too long to stop now. Nothing I could say would convince him otherwise. Since I had left my cell, his perception of me had flipped, and I was now a full-on enemy in his eyes. I demanded for him to give Waddle's body back, but as we clashed, he made it apparent that that couldn't happen. He was Waddle now. Waddle's consciousness was pushed to the back of his own mind, and the Baruto had taken over, effectively meaning that he could never return to being Waddle ever again. If I were to take down the Baruto once and for all here, I'd be eliminating the friend that had been with me from the start. But I knew that this is what needed to be done. I'd seen too much sorrow and heartbreak, and to not stop the Baruto now would be a disrespect to what I believe Waddle would have wanted. The two of us traded blow after blow, and it was clear that Baruto was head and shoulders above the rest of his group. I had luckily fought all of them prior to him though, so I had gotten a lot stronger as well. In the end, I came out victorious and put an end to my former friend's existence. Of course, that also means Waddle was gone too. But somehow, I felt like he wasn't completely gone. Day 79 through 99, with the squad defeated, work was put into fixing the village, but there was still much to do. Everyone considered me a savior for my efforts in rescuing the village and its people, but I just felt like I was simply doing my part. I discussed with all of the remaining Jonin, and they told me that they wanted me to be the new Hokage, to which I accepted. Day 100. I was now the Hokage, and while the hut wasn't completely fixed, I still wanted to take a seat in the office. It felt empowering, like I could do anything. Maybe I can do anything. Maybe I can rule over everyone. Who's strong enough to stop me? Just kidding. Finally, after a long journey, our 100 days are over. Comment down below what your favorite part was and any suggestions that you might have for a future series that I do in this style. I want to give a special thank you to my boy Waddlevania, who is a real content creator, by the way. Please do me a favor and check out his Twitch channel, link in the description. He does regular streams and they're always a good time. We both put in so many hours to get this made, so give him some love, please. If you're into 100 days videos, we plan on doing more as well, so if you want to get notified when those go up, I recommend subscribing to the channel and ringing that notification bell. I have plans on doing more of these with other anime series like Demon Slayer, My Hero, Jujutsu Kaisen, Attack on Titan, One Piece, and so on. With that though, I just want to thank each and every one of you for all the support on these videos. Thank you so much for watching, see you later, bye!